has been 1 year since the U.S. withdrew the last of our troops from Afghanistan, marking the end of the longest war in our nation's history. And as you recall, it was a chaotic and controversial exit. The collapse of Afghanistan's government, the Taliban takeover, a deadly attack at the Kabul airport, and the final American soldier boarding a military plane to leave. And despite the efforts to get as many people out as possible, some Americans were left behind. And that is where a nonprofit group called Project Dynamo comes in. They go into these dangerous parts of Afghanistan and they try to get Americans out. And their most recent mission has brought 3 people back to the United States safely tonight. In just a moment, I'm going to be talking with Bryan Stern, a U.S. combat veteran who leads Project Dynamo. But first, correspondent Evan Lambert live in our nation's capital with more on this incredible rescue. Good evening, Evan.
Good evening, Marnie. And on this anniversary, that volunteer group airlifted 3 American citizens safely back to the U.S., all while doing similar operations in Ukraine. When the U.S. left Afghanistan 1 year ago today, these were the scenes. Thousands of Afghans flooding the Kabul airport, afraid of being left behind, afraid of what would be in the absence of American troops. And what did come was the Taliban. Seamlessly, as planes took off, the Taliban took over. A suicide bomber killed 13 service members in those final days. Several hundred Americans stayed, and thousands of allies who helped the U.S. during its 20-year campaign in Afghanistan. 3 Project Dynamo team members and 3 evacuees from Kabul just made it safely back to JFK Airport. The 3 American residents were visiting family in Afghanistan back in March and April of 2021 when they became trapped during the Taliban takeover.
The Taliban problem is with the Americans and green card holders. With anyone who lives in here, they killed people that were American. That's why she's scared. Project
Dynamo has been running operations since then, working to get Americans out. Also doing this in Ukraine. Masuda Norzad, who helps with the missions, was herself an evacuee rescued from Afghanistan by Project Dynamo August 16, 2021.
It was terrible. I was so scared. I tried 3 times to get to the airport. The people were scared, the people were fighting for their lives. Everyone was trying to get to the airport and leave Afghanistan. I was hopeless at the moment. I have a baby with me. I had a baby with me, so I was so scared and just want to leave Afghanistan.
For the families stuck in Afghanistan, they were forced into hiding with their respective families for more than a year, scared to leave their homes in fear of being caught by Taliban-controlled law enforcement.
My family are left there. They can't go out, especially women. They can't go out. They can go without the scarf. Or they should cover their face. They can go their jobs. I know some of my families just lost their jobs because they are women. They can't continue to their jobs. So these are the problems in Afghanistan.
And Project Dynamo is a privately organized group. The U.S. has resettled more than 80,000 refugees, including 800 American citizens since the Taliban swept in. Marnie?
All right, Evan, incredible rescue tonight. Thank you. I want to bring in Bryan Stern with Project Dynamo this evening. Bryan, thank you to you and your team. Incredible work you all continue to do in Afghanistan and also Ukraine. Let's start with this latest mission. Talk to me about the arduous and dangerous journey to get these people out, the terrain of Afghanistan, the size of the country, the mountains, the desert. What are the dangers that they face?
The number one problem on the ground in Afghanistan, if you're a U.S. citizen or a green card holder or LPR, is just being an American or being a green card holder. The same dangers exist also for our Afghan allies that fought with us, next to us, the interpreters, etc. Any ties to the West, any ties to the U.S. military can be a death sentence just for the paper, for literally the green card in your pocket or the passport in your pocket can lead to rape, torture, or death. That that is the biggest problem, notwithstanding the famine and all the other problems of Afghanistan that exist every single day.
Describe the last year for the 3 Americans that you were able to safely rescue. These are considered lawful permanent residents. What they say it has been like under Taliban rule and hiding and fearing for their safety.
It's terrible. There's a reason why we have thousands of requests to flee coming in every week. It's not because it's so good on the ground, it's because it's so terrible on the ground. These folks are green card holders, which we at Dynamo, I give green card holders a little bit of deference. I was blessed to be born in America. My U.S. passport that says "We the People" on it is because I was born here. These are folks that had to learn the process, follow the process, respect the laws of the United States of America, follow the laws of the United States of America, and come here legally to do it the right way. These folks live here. They live in Virginia and California. They've been away from their homes now that they fought for over a year. And from a Dynamo perspective, these folks really fought hard for their place here in this country. And the message of follow the law and follow the procedures, and we're going to leave you there to stay under Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, that just sends a wrong message to people who follow the law.
What is the status of the U.S. Embassy in Kabul? And do you have any idea how many more people, Americans and otherwise, are trying to evacuate?
The embassy remains closed. I was just there not that long ago, and on our U.S. embassy on the front door is a giant, like 20-foot tall Taliban flag. Currently, there are Taliban security guys guarding the United States Embassy in Kabul, which is frustrating, to say the least, as an Afghan vet, to say the least. As far as how many people are left, I don't know how many, but there's plenty. There's lots.
You're getting lots of requests?
Absolutely. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of Americans that really want to leave, but they have a family problem, meaning the husband or the wife is an American citizen, but their spouse isn't, and they don't want to leave their families behind, which makes sense. So the idea of let's figure out a way to get this process going quicker, that is the answer. A year later, pulling green card holders out that have been trying to get out for an entire year is not appropriate. These are not new green card holders. These are people who lived here for years and they got stuck. They've been on the road. They've been on the run for 365 days and change.
Yeah, what stories they must have to tell. Hey, Bryan, you also are conducting rescue operations in Ukraine. I know you left that area, particularly around the nuclear power plant in South Ukraine. What's the status of your efforts there with rescues?
We're busy. We're real busy. We have we've broken people out of jail. We've rescued American nuclear scientists. Thousands of innocent people from like 24 countries. The Russians are aggressive. The Ukrainians are definitely giving them a run for their money, but the people need our help. There are lots of Americans that are stuck in Russian-controlled territory. There's again, we're getting requests for help there every single day. We are restricted only by funding. We need donations, and we need them bad. ProjectDynamo.org is the best way to help us. We will continue to do operations. It's the thing that we love to do. We're really, really good at it. We give the Russians a run for their money every day, and they hate us, and we don't really like them. But we definitely need the public's help in a very real way.
Saving lives. Bryan Stern with Project Dynamo. Godspeed to you and your team. Keep us posted on your latest missions, okay?
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.